So here's something interesting here. Here's some paint protection film on the Rivian from the factory. It's just a small little piece. They know all the rocks are gonna come right through here and take it up, or kick it up, so we're gonna take this off. It was lifting a little bit already from the factory, so hot water, and it just comes off real nicely. There we go. And we'll get some Gyeon tar next to wipe that clean. The Gyeon tar will remove all the adhesive from the paint protection film off the vehicle if there's any remaining, and it's also going to be safe on all this black plastic. I don't have to worry about it staining it, destroying it, making it go white. Oh, and there's that's pretty cool, Gyeon prep. Look it over. Any debris? Nope. One of the things I noticed that was incorrect at the start of the project was we talked to the client. The client wanted to have these fender flares covered. I talked to him on the phone before he came in. I looked at the pattern database. These are available in the pattern database, so I assumed, cool, we'll put those on. Quoted him the job, told him we'd do it. Did a quick glance. We took the vehicle over before it got in there, but as we did it in a closer inspection, you get close up there. There actually is, this whole panel from the factory does have paint protection film on it, at least in this particular vehicle now. I mean, you can see from the factory they have a piece of debris in there, they got a little debris there, and that's, I mean, these guys are jamming this down the assembly line trying to get the paint protection film on. So the fact that they're doing this in a factory and it looks like that, I think it's honestly pretty decent. So I called the customer back and talked to him and said, hey, here's an opportunity for me to prove to you that we're running an honest shop. You already have paint protection film on the vehicle, so you have a couple options. First option is we can take off the paint protection film and have it match all the paint protection film on the vehicle. The benefit if we did do that is that our patterns would wrap the edges, so that piece would wrap around into there, that piece would wrap in there. The other option is don't replace it and we could do ceramic coating, take that extra money that was gonna cost and put maybe a ceramic coating just on the plastic or the rims or the glass, or just leave the factory PPF on and save the money in a couple years. If it gets chewed up, replace it, come back to our shop and replace it then. So that's what the client elected to do. That was a nice kind of surprise for him, so it takes the total bill down a little bit on that. Happy to do that for him, happy to leave the factory PPF on. We know that going forward on the next Rivian. I'm gonna have to go do some research on these Rivians. I don't know if that's an option from the factory or if that's, I'm assuming it's standard just because here's what happens with the factory PPF. So the factory knows that they've done enough design or research, development, engineering on these vehicles. They've probably they've had some test vehicles out there with 100, 200,000 miles on them that they're testing out, so they know, look, we're gonna get a bunch of stone chips on here. So if you ever see paint protection film from the factory on a vehicle, it's because the factory knows that that's gonna get chipped up. That's gonna lead to poor customer satisfaction, low quality scores, the J.D. Power quality scores, that kind of stuff. So they wanna avoid those issues. So I was actually really impressed though with this Rivian here because they put paint protection film on that whole panel. Typically what you see in most manufacturers is that they would only put paint protection maybe on a small section, right, through here or through here. And then you'd see the line. But the fact that the Rivian does that whole panel is really pretty cool from the factory. So the other area they put paint protection film on for the factories, they put down here in this lower section here. You saw us take that off. I found that after I went ahead and put the fender on and realized that there was paint protection film down there. I mean, it's embarrassing, but it's kind of real life here. This is what happens. You find out and made a mistake. So the resolution was take the factory piece off. The reason I took the factory PPF on is because it was small. There was some of that debris in there that just wasn't going to look right over time. Now, on this Rivian, here's why it's important. Here's why PPF's important there, and we're really gonna have to watch this now with the client. We talked about not doing the door lowers, but as you look at it, here's the tire, here's the body panel. Hello, look at that. Rocks. So you can start seeing they're probably gonna get peppered up. I'm gonna guess the vehicle's gonna start getting peppered up down along this area if the Rivian put paint protection film on this section, it's probably gonna get chipped up over here. So that's just something, that's a conversation I've already had with the client, told him to just watch the vehicle. You know, after a week or two, if it's, you know, or a day or two, I don't care. As soon as he knows it's getting chipped up, stop driving it, bring it back to the shop, we'll put those pieces on. I don't know for 100% fact that it's gonna get chipped up, but my experience in guessing, and there's the Rivian being charged up, so.